Come see me do stand-up comedy November 2nd at the Wilbur Theater in Boston. Wicked Pesa. November 3rd, I'm at the Borgata Casino in Atlantic City. Come see me. November 4th, the big time, baby. Tarrytown Music Hall, Tarrytown, New York. November 9th through 11th, Governor's Comedy Club, Levittown, New York.
Put your name on it. Just put your name on it. That's all I say. Be a man or a woman. Put your name on it.
Well, I'd like to hear about it, potheads.
How the fuck you gonna know how to be great if you don't study greatness? Look at the game change.
Donuts.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you're not a bad-looking man, Mr. Gals.
But you are, Blanche. You are in that chair.
There's something wrong with us. Something very, very wrong with us.
Oh, hey, buddy. Oh, yeah.
My guest, Robert Alexander Szatkowsk, better known as the whole fucking show.
Dude.
RVD.
That's good, man. You said my last name like you grew up with me.
I did grow up with you. You don't remember it.
Well, I grew up watching you.
I grew up watching you. We're the same age. First of all, that shit. You kids are that shit right now, man. I like people that like me.
And why wouldn't you? That is the most appealing factor anybody has, is that they like the one who's judging.
Well, don't act like you don't know what that's like. I mean, you go to like Calgary as a pro wrestler when you're back in the WWF heyday, when you were the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion.
I'm an X Division champion. I won it Sunday at Bound for Glory. Best pay-per-view maybe TNA's ever had.
Is that the one Hogan just did?
Yeah.
Hogan was there? Yeah. I heard him on Howard.
I did too. I heard that.
And then you were on that one and you won the fucking belt?
Yes, sir.
You are now the champion.
The X Division champion. There was like 3 titles. They all changed hands Sunday at Bound for Glory, and it was awesome in Phoenix, Arizona.
Who did you beat?
A new kid. I mean, you don't know him. His name is Zima Ion, and the X Division is basically
Zima Ion.
Yeah, I think I'm saying that right.
What are they running out of characters? Is he a black guy?
The guy. Well, he's got a big afro, but I don't think he's black. I think he's like Filipino or. Hawaiian.
You've been hitting the head so much, you don't know what color somebody is.
I'm not qualified to answer that.
All right.
But anyway. X-Division champion.
So how do you win the belt beating a new guy? Yeah, usually, like, they breed these rivalries.
I rolled right over him. I came in and said, yo, you're talking all this trash about what a tough guy you are. Check me out. Bam! Beat him, smothered him, and the crowd was so loud. It was crazy. Seriously, like, they were screaming, RVD, like, through the whole match, and lots of love, but... It's rare that there's like that much energy and passion, and because TNA, we do most of our shit like out of Orlando, Florida. We we shoot live every Thursday night. That's where I'll be this week probably, but I don't know if I'm on this week yet or not.
No, you'll be on in like 2 weeks. Right. Oh, this podcast, or you mean your actual schedule?
TNA, it's on Spike, 8 o'clock on Thursdays. You're a big fan, thanks for following.
I will be now, because my buddy's going to be on it. I thought you were doing like the minor league Chitlin circuit, wrestling in like storage containers on cruise ships in Long Beach.
No, even when
all right, all you Chinese immigrants, get out. RVD's got a match against Negative Ion Technology, or whatever his name is.
When I left WWE in 2006, I was just burnt out on their schedule. And so I walked off, and for like almost 3 years, I only would wrestle overseas because I just had really high diva-like standards. They had to fly me first class and pay me a lot of money up front. And so I was wrestling in Switzerland, Italy, Spain, Germany, Romania, Bulgaria, France, Ireland, all over the place. And eventually...
I like how you go, I only wrestled certain places, and then you just rattled off 40 countries.
No, I said overseas.
I had my limits.
Overseas.
I only wrestled France, Holland, Dutch, Romania,
but I don't know if you're familiar with geography, Jay. I don't know
Ontario.
If your stand-up tour goes there, but it's overseas, believe it or not.
You did say that.
You can't drive to any of those places from here.
I could.
Well, you'd be on a ferry boat.
Back in the day, I could.
That might be fitting.
Back when you, me, and Justin McCulley were at an Embassy Suites.
Remember that? We were all ferries that night.
I could have fucking driven across the ocean that night.
Remember when you held his balls in your mouth?
How could I forget? It covered my ears.
That was crazy.
And we kept calling me Dumbo?
So TNA eventually made me good enough. It was Hogan that made the deal, by the way. It was like everyone had called me from TNA while I was only wrestling over there, and WWE wanted me to go back full time, which I was not interested at all in. And TNA was saying, come on here, come on here. It was Bischoff. It was Dixie Carter, the owner. It was
Dixie Carter, the lady actress?
No.
I wasn't even kidding.
I know, but she's dead. And
Designing women.
People always think that if they're not familiar. Same name.
See, I forget how goddamn
Her dad
smart you
owns
are.
Panda Energy. It's one of the largest, like, it's a multi-billion-dollar. I don't know how much it's worth, but it's
Panda
a lot
Energy?
of money. Yes, sir.
That's maybe a terrible name for an energy company. You ever seen pandas at the zoo? They kind of lay around and just hold their dicks
I
all
saw
day.
one that could handle a big bow staff, like a martial artist, one that spins it around and throws it up in the air. You saw
Yeah, I
that
play
footage.
World of Warcraft too, dude.
Oh.
It's not, but Panda Energy.
So Hulk Hogan finally called and said, brother, we need you to come in here, brother, and lead the roost. And it was finally like, because I actually said, well, if Hulk Hogan calls, then they're serious. And he called, and he actually called on my radio show, on RVD radio. And it was like, that's why I was telling you, we had like, over 100,000 hits, views or listens, whatever you call it. Because he was pitching me on my own show. Like, what else could you do to blow someone's head up? But have Hulk Hogan call and say how much we need you to come in. I don't know why he did that. But after that,
Because you're the whole fucking show.
Well, we talked
RVD
numbers.
420.
Yeah, there I am. Dude.
How many
Spike
other
TV.
old school guys that the listeners would recognize were there? Do you know? I mean, because you
Well,
were there, but
Yeah, and some of them have come and gone, but right now the recognizable names that we have that you would know, Sting, and he still wrestles. We just inducted him into the TNA Hall of Fame.
how about the rest of the police? Was Andrew Sumner in there?
Don't
Stuart
stand
Copeland?
so close to me. And there was Jeff Hardy.
Nice.
Yeah, Kurt Angle, Olympic champion. He's with us.
No joke.
Yeah, and Ken Anderson, Chavo Guerrero just came in. And the Guerreros have been around.
No
forever,
Dusty Rhodes?
No, there's no place for Dusty right now.
Listen here, Daddy. Dusty Rhodes is here.
Yeah.
And when I told you to Sapphire.
Huh?
Go. Check it out. There you go. So TNA Impact. It's on
Thursday night at 8
yeah, and then
on
we'll do
Spike
pay-per-view.
TV. You can see our friend Rob Van Dam. And Rob's one of the good guys. He's a guy that, like, you'll just see him in the street and say, RVD, what's up? And then
Dude,
you
get
wind
me
up.
out of the street. I almost get run over every time you see me out there like that.
I'll get you out of the street. Now, when you came up to the house, the first thing you said, the lights were out on the yard because I didn't put on the motion detectors yet.
So there was only a Jay Moore silhouette that I didn't recognize as a Jay Moore silhouette.
Because you said what?
I had other expectations of what a Jay Moore silhouette was going to look like.
What?
I hadn't seen you in a while. It's been a while. You know what? You know the last time we talked?
Ontario Improv.
Okay, but
You were in my car.
Last time we communicated, like you had said, oh, our mutual friend Justin McCauley, who's a MMA guy, and he was
Yeah.
fighting with UFC. You were like, if he fights, let me know, bro. Let me know. I want to get it. And so he had a fight coming on, and then I said, hey, he's going to be on this Sunday, whatever. And here's a channel, and I gave you the info, and he was all excited to be on. So during the show, he had a fight, and they didn't show it on the show. It was like it didn't make the cut of what they showed. And I can't remember if it was an email or what, but you go, dude, I had a whole bunch of people at my house because you told me that. And you go, I kind of think you're a dick.
Really?
Yeah, I still kind of want to headbutt you for that.
I hope you don't. And I never in my life have thought you were a dick at all. That's the problem
Well,
with
believe me,
texting.
Justin was bummed more than anybody that he
course
wasn't
he
on
was.
there, you
Not
know,
as much as
yeah.
he was when he lost to Russo, the wrestler from Wisconsin.
Remember that?
I do remember it. And I told him, I said, you look a little heavy. You're not going to outwork a wrestler.
He could have worked for WWE if he had an actual marketable build and stuff. Like they liked him, but they didn't. They wanted him to work on his body and stuff at one point. It's
You said the WNBA?
No, WWE, which is
I thought you said
that's what
I swear to
WWF
God.
changed to.
Yes, I'm not making a joke. I honestly thought you said WNBA and you were going to make a joke.
No, but I
about
know Rasheed Wallace. He's a friend of mine.
Yes.
That's as far as my sports knowledge goes. Is I can smoke a joint with Rasheed Wallace.
So Thursdays at 8 on Spike TV, you can see our friend RVD.
And
that's
also, I thought you were going to be fat.
Yeah.
So that was the point.
The main
I
point.
hadn't seen you in a while. You came up to the gate because I can't see the address. And I said, hey, is this bleep? That was Jay Moore's personal address, everybody. Here in the studio, Jay Moore Live. Anyway, and you came up and you were like,
no, man, you look at that studio down the street, man?
And I told Steve was with me, I said, because he said, hey, is that guy that you have on the RVD TV? Because we filmed that thing when you let me go on stage at one time. And,
yeah.
And I said, yeah, but he's going to be a lot fatter now.
Why did you think I was going to be fat? Out of curiosity.
I don't know. Weren't you, I think maybe you were getting heavy on your sitcom. I think that's what it was. And
I was up around 212, 210 on the sitcom.
Well, you've lost it and you look good.
Thank you, brother. 190. 193. I remember I was on a scale in San Jose. Tom Segura was my opening act, and I go, God. And he goes, what? I go, I weigh fucking 211, 212. And he goes, so? I go, that's what Evander Holyfield fought at. And he goes, so? I go, do I fucking look like Evander Holyfield?
No.
It is all gut.
Yeah. He had better abs, probably.
Evander had crazy abs.
Yeah.
He probably roided the shit out of himself. That's why he had the heart problems. And then remember, you don't remember this? Oh, because you're not a big
now
sports
you're
guy.
a doctor?
No.
What the fuck? Come on.
He roided out so bad, and then he had he had heart arrhythmia or something bad where you can't ever fight. And then he went to like a faith healer. His church healed him. Translation: stop shooting decacycles at an alarming rate. And then he fought at like 220.
And we'd like to thank our sponsor, Jesus Christ, for being there when we need him.
He's a good man. Your debut in the WWF, 1989, right?
2001, actually.
2001?
I was in ECW from
that's
96
right.
to 2001. And within that year, I switched over to WWE.
And ECW back then was like so crazy. You'd like do suplex off the top rope onto barbed wire lunch tables.
Well, everyone kind of had their own niche, too, though. You know what I mean? Like,
did you have to bleed a lot?
No, not a lot. But when I did, I was proud of it. It was always like what we call hard way. I didn't, slice my forehead to get the... For me, that's like, come on. But I would, take a chair into the eyebrow, it would bust me open. That happened a lot, but I love it because it's good for the business. What we did was we changed the standards. People didn't look at us and go, do you guys ever really hit each other? We never heard that because we were killing each other, and it was for the really tough physical artists that wanted to express themselves in that hardcore, violent way. It was awesome, and we all miss it very much, and thank God for DVDs.
You made a joke earlier about you did the Diva Tour overseas, but don't you think that you sort of earned the Diva Tour? Because when we sat in my car once, wow, that sounded like a gay encounter at the Dolly Madison rest area off the Jersey Turnpike, and we were looking for glory holes that time. Remember that?
Bound for glory.
Yeah.
Holes.
Parentheses holes. You were explaining to me the WWF schedule, and it was so absurd and so ridiculous.
Yes.
But don't you think you sort of earned that diva route?
Well, that's the thing is only you can put the value on what something is to you.
Right.
And people don't understand that in general. Just they ask stupid questions as if we all had one shared value system, which we don't. You know what I mean? And so I was so burnt out when I left WWE. They wanted me to sign a contract that said I'd return and just take like a few months off. I said, fuck no, because as it was, when I would have like 2 days off a week, which was all I would get, I would be like counting the hours and subconsciously until I got to get back in the airplane. And I had serious it was like trial. Like I would like have panic attacks and feel it in my chest, and I didn't want to go. I didn't want to leave.
Take us through a WWF touring schedule.
Okay, well, first off, since I lived on the West Coast, it made it harder because most of their shit's on the East Coast. So I would sometimes have to leave the night before on a red eye when other people could leave like at noon and get there and whatever. But it would be like, let's see, if you were on Raw, it was a day before. SmackDown, it was a day after. They had two different crews going that would work continuously from either Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then you do the TV. So I would do like, say I leave Los Angeles on a flight, head to Boston on a Thursday, and then
so you gotta take the red eye Wednesday.
Sometimes, yeah, on TV, because you got to be at the building like at 1 o'clock East Coast time for TV. The house shows, the non-televised events, sometimes you didn't have to be there till a little bit later, so there was some flexibility there. But anyway, you rent a car, sometimes you hook up with somebody. I usually rode by myself my whole career and still do. There's been very few partners that I had, like Booker T and Sabu, Mike Awesome, who hung himself, and through him, Sean Stasiak for a little while, who... I had to smoke a lot to deal with riding with him, but
who? Wait,
Sean Stasiak. He's
you got to slow everything down a little bit because you're throwing a lot of names out. And
anyway,
these are great stories.
Every day.
Who was the guy you had to smoke a lot with?
No, not with.
No, you had to smoke to deal with him. Who was it?
Sean Stasiak.
Okay.
He's a second generation wrestler, and he would he drove everybody nuts. And like he would do things like he'd say, "Hey Rob, watch my match and tell me afterwards if you see anything I could do better." I'd say, "Okay." So I'd go out of my way to watch his
Instead
match.
of going home to sleep.
And afterwards he'd come out, and I'd have some stuff prepared. I'm going to tell him, hey, you need to be more aggressive here or this or that. And I'd get ready to tell him. He said, "Did you watch my match?" I'd say, "Yeah." And he'd "Oh, did you see my hair? Did you see my tights? Were my tights, do they look too short? I think they might be too short. Do they look purple? They're not purple. They're like a hot pink, but I think they look purple." And did Hunter look that much?
So
Did that guy look that much bigger than me?
Sean Stasiak is gay.
And he's got like he's obsessive and whatever.
About the color of his tights.
Oh my God. Mike Awesome hung himself. One of my best friends. Never would have seen that coming.